Happy Monday once again, everyone. Bryan Devore, Devore Realty Group, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, California Properties with another Monday market moment. This week, we're going to answer the question, how successful have sellers been? Stephen Thomas came out with his recent monthly report that has a breakdown of some different categories. So we'll talk about that in just a moment. First, let's look at the most recent stats. Right now, 5,664 homes for sale throughout the county, slight drop of 20 from last week. Median list price, $899.9. Average days on market, 59. Pending sales, 2184. Big drop of 151 from last week. That's either because fewer homes went pending or the ones that were pending sold. We'll find out which one shortly. Median list price, 879, 450. Average days on market, 41. Months of inventory went down quite a bit to 2.87 months of inventory. That's quite a big drop. We were above 3 for a long time. Now we're back below 3 months of inventory again, getting back into sort of seller's market category depending on the home. Here is the chart showing total actives and total pendings. Total actives continuing to drop. Total pendings also dropping. Last week, we saw 728 homes come on the market. It's an increase of 52 versus the week before. Median list price, $899. New pendings, 366. So we did see an increase in the number of homes that went pending. 39 more homes went pending last week than the week before. Median list price, $897,000. Average days on market, 36. New pendings listed within the last week, 15. Within the last 2 weeks, 98. So 4% of homes sold just within a week of going on the market. 27% sold just in the first 2 weeks. How many homes closed at escrow? Well, that's where the big change was, up 39 versus last week to 375. It's a 10% bump, which is why we have more pendings now. Fewer pendings because they sold. Median list price, $899.5, higher than the week before. Median sales price, $895. Also higher than the week before. Average days on market, 33, going down, which is good to see. Least expensive sale was in Fallbrook, $182,000. Most expensive sale was in Carmel Valley, $6,150,000. Here's a chart showing new actives, new pendings, and new closed sales. We've had the most new actives in the last few weeks. Big jump, not expected. But we'll see as we get closer to Thanksgiving if that comes back down again. But we also saw a bump in the number of homes that went pending by quite a bit, and more homes went closed escrow rather than the week before. And here's a chart showing median list price, median sales price, right back up again to right around where we have been other than the week before that. Okay, Stephen Thomas came out with that breakdown report, which I love. This is for September, so there is a little bit of a lag, but it's really good to kind of see what these different categories tell us. For example, how many homes that sold in September were sold to cash buyers? Well, we saw 517 homes, 22.5% of the total. That's a 6% increase over the month before. So more homes sold with cash. Kind of interesting. More investors getting involved? Are people selling their homes and making a lot of money and buying homes with cash that way? And not sure which is which or combination of both. Okay, list price changes. How many homes that sold had to change their list price to do it? 3% of all sales in September increased their list price. 61% left their price unchanged. The month before it was 62, so around the same. 36% of closed sales decreased their price. It was 35% the month before, so a few more homes had to reduce their price versus keeping it the same. So not a lot of change month to month. List price analysis. How many homes closed above the original list price? 26%. So over a quarter of homes sold above their original list price. In August, it was only 23%, a little bit of a hotter market indication. 11% closed in September at the original list price. It was also 11% the month before. 63% sold below their original list price. It was 65% the month before. So fewer homes sold below their list price. Again, another sign perhaps of a slightly heating up market. Here's another price analysis here. 29% of all closed sales in September closed above the original list price. It was 28% in August. 19% of all closed sales sold at their original list price. 52% closed below the original list price. And then finally, how many homes were pulled off the market? This is what I was talking about in the very beginning. Are sellers successful? And we saw 30.4%, 1,708 homes were unsuccessful in selling and came off the market. But that's a 2% decrease versus the homes that stayed on the market. So, or I'm sorry, versus the month before. So fewer homes had to pull their homes off the market because they were unsuccessful in selling. All those numbers that we talked about just now indicate a slightly heating up market at a time of year where it usually cools down. So interest rates staying low, that helps. We talked about that in the weeks before Monday market moment. So we'll have to see if this trend continues or if it's just a little bit of an anomaly for a couple weeks. That's it for this week's Monday market moment. Hope you have a great day and a great week. A little bit of a fun fact. My son's getting married this Friday and I get to officiate the wedding. So maybe I'll have some pictures in next week's Monday market moment. Have a great day. Have a great week. I look forward to seeing you next Monday.